Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I have my long-awaited alopecia update, and this was supposed to be a 1-year update, but I think it's been a little bit over that. I'm sorry it took a while. I've just been kind of preparing myself for this video because it has been a tough year and a half of dealing with this, and just going back to it and talking about it kind of made me a little scared, but I'm good now. I'm so thankful that I received so much support and feedback from my alopecia videos. I'm amazed by how much of a community there is for alopecia, and I'm just really grateful that I mustered up the courage to make that video, and a lot of you came forward and shared your stories. If you guys ever want to reach out to me and send me a message to talk about your alopecia, then the best places to reach me are on Snapchat or Twitter. I'm sorry if you've messaged me on any other social media and I haven't gotten back to you, but just try sending me another message and I'll try to get to you as soon as possible. If you haven't seen my first video, I would highly suggest to check that one out first. I'll keep the link in the description bar, but definitely go watch that first if you don't really know what alopecia is and my story behind it and all of that stuff. But just a quick summary: alopecia is a condition where you start losing your hair in bald patches, and there's different forms of it. I had alopecia areata, which is where you get different bald patches about like the size of a quarter, sometimes bigger, sometimes smaller. There's also alopecia universalis, where you lose pretty much every single hair on your body. Alopecia totalis, where you lose all of the hair on your head. So there is a big chance of me getting alopecia again, and it could be worse. It could be not as bad as the first time, but you really don't know, and that is why alopecia is such, I want to say, a hard thing to have, because you really don't know what's going to happen to you or why it's happening to you, because there's no known cause or cure. It could be because of stress, it could be because of your immune system, it could be hormonal stuff, it could be really anything. There's like hundreds and hundreds of different causes, and as for cures, there are treatments that could help you grow your hair back. I first found my alopecia back in July of 2016, and if you want to hear the story on how I found it, again, go check out my first video. During that time, I really don't know what could have caused it, but my doctors and I ruled out it was because of stress. My first bald patch was, when I first found it, I'll show you a picture because I took a picture the very first day I found it. It was about the size of a quarter, and then the following months after that, it kind of grew to, I want to say, like that big. I'll insert another picture here of what it looked like a couple months prior to that. It took me a couple months before I started seeing hair growth. Now I'll show you guys that same bald spot in the pictures. Here's a little bit oily because this is second day hair, but this is, I look kind of crazy right now, but this is the length of hair it is now from my bald spot. Right here at the top, it was the most noticeable bald spot and the hardest to hide during that time when I lost it, but it has grown about, I want to say, 3 inches. I'm not really good at estimating how much, but that is pretty much the first one. Now, I had a total of 4 bald spots, but that was definitely the biggest and most noticeable one. My second one was a lot smaller, and it was pretty much like on the top back of my head, and you can see it's pretty much the same length as the first one right here. This is just a little piece of it, but as you can see, it's the same length as the other 2. And then my fourth one, for some reason, I can't find because it was like on a weird spot. It was on like somewhere behind my ear, so I can't really, I don't know. Oh wait, is that it? It was somewhere here, I can't find it, I don't know why, but those were like a lot smaller than the first one. Obviously you can tell it has grown a lot over the past year, and I'm so happy about it. I don't really care that sometimes it pretty much like blends into the rest of my hair. So people don't really notice it. I don't really need to try and hide it anymore, which is good. As for treating my alopecia and what really helped me, or at least what I think helped, is when I went to see the doctor for the first time, he prescribed me this like kind of like a liquid ointment type of thing to put on my head twice a day, and I feel like that didn't help me. I'll put the name like somewhere here on the screen of what it was called so you can ask your doctor about it if you're dealing with the same thing. But I didn't like it because it made my scalp super dry, and there was like a ton of buildup, and it was just really scaly and just really gross feeling. And every time that I would see like a teeny bit of hair growth, the skin on my scalp would like flake off and the hair would come out with it. I know that sounds really nasty, but I felt like it was making it worse and preventing my hair from growing back. So I stopped using it, and I feel like after I stopped using it, my hair started to grow faster. So for me, that didn't work. I know a lot of people, if they are prescribed that same ointment and it doesn't work for them, they take the next step and get steroids injected into their head, and I really did not want to do that. Just needles in general scare me, especially if they're being injected into my scalp. So I know that that was probably my last option, and thankfully I didn't have to do that. The doctors or the dermatologist that I saw even said that he didn't think I would ever have to do that since my hair was growing back at a pretty fast pace. Sorry if you hear like a weird sound. Lacey's like chewing on her bone right now. I started seeing hair grow back faster, I think about 3 to 4 months after I found my first bald spot. So it took a little bit of time, but during that time, like I said in my other video, I did a lot of things and kind of went on a mental cleanse because I told myself if this is because of stress and depression, then I really need to start thinking more positive and be more positive. So I kind of like tried to relax myself more, try to do things that would not make me as stressed as I was before. I tried to stay away from a lot of unhealthy foods. I stopped drinking alcohol for like a month, and I just tried to get rid of a lot of things that were bad for my body. I was just trying to do everything that I could that I thought could help with my hair going back. I took vitamins for my hair. I took multivitamins as well. Pretty much like tried everything. I believe that's what helped my hair grow back. So I kind of was like looking online to see every single cause that there was, and one of the causes is if your hormones are kind of like off. And for me, my whole life I've had kind of a weird period. So you're supposed to get your period every month, but for me it would be really off. Like sometimes I would get it once a month, and then I wouldn't get it for like another 3 months, and then I would get it the next month, and then it would be another 5 months. I think the longest I've gone without having my period was 7 months in total, which is really bad. I actually started going back on birth control because I wanted to regulate my period, and I found that after that I started to notice my hair growing back faster, so that could be another reason why. So if you're like me who has like an irregular period and your hormones are off, I would suggest trying to go on the pill maybe. There are a lot of side effects to the pill too, like there's weight gain and other stuff like that, and I think for some different kinds of birth control you do experience more hair loss. So I would just look into it and talk to your doctor about what kind of birth control you should take. Like as for like my job, I do work in food service. I've worked in food service for about like 4 years now, and you have to always wear your hair up in a ponytail. And I used to wear my hair up in a really high ponytail, and it would be really tight, and that is actually really bad for your hair as well because you're pulling your hair out. So I always want to wear my hair in a low ponytail or like in some sort of different hairstyle that would make it less straining on my hair. For the past year, I rarely ever used heat. I stopped blow drying my hair, I stopped straightening it, and I would only curl it maybe like once a month for like a special occasion, but I pretty much completely got rid of any heat to my hair. And I also used different treatments. I used a lot of hair masks and a lot of like oils and stuff like that to try and get my hair back into a healthy shape, because one cause of alopecia could be because of all the damage that I was doing to my hair, so like all the bleaching and hair dyeing, stuff like that, which is why I decided to go back to my natural hair color of black, because before I was blonde, and I was blonde for about I think almost 2 years, and if you have naturally dark hair and you lighten it, it's hard to maintain. You have to get it done like almost like every 2 months or so, which is really really bad for your hair, obviously. So that's why I decided to go back to my natural hair color, so I wouldn't have to worry about maintaining the blonde that I used to have. And I really miss my blonde hair, but of course I don't want to cause any more damage to it, which is why I kept it this color. And I do plan on getting a trim soon just to get rid of like the dead ends that I have. And my hair is like really long now, because before when I had alopecia I cut it like up to here, so it has grown like really long. That is a big tip that I have for you if you're going through this. Just try to get your hair back into a healthier state, and that could really help with the hair growth and could stop thinning. As for thinning, my hair has thinned so much since I got my alopecia. I used to have really really thick voluminous hair. I'll insert some pictures of what it used to look like, and I know it kind of looks the same right now. Here's like all my hair to the front right now. So this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can really tell how thin it is now, but like I said before, it used to be really really thick. Now like when I pull my hair up to a ponytail, I could just feel how more lightweight it is and how thin it is. And you can kind of see, I don't know if you can tell, but like all of like the scalp, my scalp that you see, it used to not be as noticeable as it is now. I lose most of my hair in the shower, obviously. I think that's how it is for everybody. I lose about anywhere from 50 to 100 hairs every time that I shower, which before, when I had thick hair, it wasn't really a problem because my hair was so thick that, I don't know, like I never thought it was a problem. But now that my hair is really thin and it still happens, I do get kind of paranoid and scared. But I just have to keep reminding myself that that's just how my hair has always been. And obviously since my hair is like growing, then I know that I'm not really losing hair, because every time I lose hair it just grows back. So that's what I try to keep telling myself. Coping with alopecia, it has been a struggle the past year. I went through a lot of depression, mostly because of the uncertainty of what was going to happen, because I didn't know if I was going to lose all of my hair. I didn't know if I was going to lose I didn't know if I was going to get more bald patches as time went by. It was just really scary not knowing what was going to happen. And I know it's just hair, it shouldn't be a big deal, but I don't know, if you're a girl and you put yourself in my shoes, I feel like you would be really scared too. I was really into my hair before. I would always love styling it and stuff like that. So it just was really hard, but I had a lot of support from my friends and family, and Nigel, my boyfriend, was my biggest support. He was constantly reminding me of how beautiful I was, and even if I did lose every single hair on my head, he would still love me unconditionally, and that like really really helped me. And of course, like, you guys reaching out to me, sharing your stories also really helped me, knowing that I wasn't alone in this. Then I also have to keep reminding myself that my hair is growing back and I haven't found a bald spot since then, so I should be very lucky and grateful that my condition was very minor, whereas a lot of people are going through this now and they keep losing their hair, or they lost a lot more hair than I did. And I truly am sorry that you're going through this. I know how hard and tough it is, but trust me, I think no matter what, you are still beautiful, and you need to keep reminding yourself that. Surround yourself with people who will support you. Like me, if you want to send me a message to talk about it, to vent, I'm here. Like I said, just follow the steps that I did, and hopefully you'll see more progress in your hair growing back. I've been a lot more happier since then. There is like a huge chance of me getting alopecia again, which I do get kind of scared about and I do have nightmares about still. But of course, like, I've gone through this one time and I know I can get through it again. Hope you guys enjoyed this update video. Hopefully I can do another one in a couple months from now or a year from now. I'll show you my progress. I am so happy that you guys have been there for me through this journey, and of course there for you as well. So thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye!